What's good, guys? Your boy Gamers Goon here today talking about our Smackdown Live review from this week. Now, Smackdown Live was a better show than Monday Night Raw. It was nothing special, but it was a better show than Monday Night Raw, and it led me with some nice things to talk about. Now, obviously, when Rusev is the number one contender, I'm going to be liking SmackDown Live. Rusev is one of my favorites on SmackDown Live, and throughout the entire company, along with AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman. A lot of these things are good about Rusev. A lot of the things they're doing with him is good. And we're going to actually start with Rusev and Xavier Woods. Now, we had Rusev, he said that at Extreme Rules, it's going to be a great Rusev day. We had a beautiful song from Made in English talking about how at Extreme Rules, Rusev Day, and Rusev is going to win on Rusev Day. He's going to win his own title on a glorious Rusev Day. Now, that would be good. That would be great. And Rusev's been looking great. He's been doing phenomenal. Against Xavier Woods here tonight, or actually the other night, Xavier Woods put on a nice match against Rusev. It wasn't anything very special, but it was okay. You can go back and watch it. There's commercials in it, so you might not get the full experience. But Rusev and Xavier match was actually not that bad. Xavier is the perfect guy to lay down and take the accolade. I'm telling you, he is. Rusev in this match put the accolade on Xavier. Obviously, Xavier had a tap. But the way Xavier Woods can sell and really make it believable is just, it's perfect. I like Xavier Woods and Rusev in the same ring. Now, we all know Xavier Woods is a really good wrestler. We all know that. We all know it. But in this situation, you have to build Rusev up. Makes sense. And I'm not against it. I am not against it. I like Rusev, and I hope at Extreme Rules that Rusev Day actually does win. I would not be that bad or mad if it happened. I would not be. I'm a big AJ Styles guy. Don't get me wrong, but I will not be mad if Rusev happens to win. I mean, it would be something new. It would be something unique. You'd see Rusev versus guys like Randy Orton. You'd see Rusev versus whoever. AJ Styles, Nakamura. Whoever you want to pick. I don't care. Pick someone. Pick them. It doesn't matter to me. I like the idea of Rusev as a champ. I do. I think it's a year too late. Should have been happening when Jinder Mahal won, but we ain't going to speak about that. Yeah. But Rusev looked great. There's nothing else I can say about Rusev. Next, we're going to get on to the cringiest segment of the night. Well, actually, tied for contention for the cringiest segment, along with the segment we're going to speak about next after this, is the segment of Glow. Yeah. So, Naomi and Lana were sitting there arguing about who was the better dancer. Nobody cares. And then Lana was like, I won. Did you hear the crowd cheering for me? And then Naomi was like, did you hear the crowd's reaction for me? And she was like, you were just twerking. That didn't count. Don't correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Lana doing the same thing? Yeah. So then the cast of Glow comes on up, and Naomi's like, oh my goodness, it's Glow. Really? You have a following of 2 million people on Instagram or something like that. Something crazy. And you are starstruck by Glow? Really? 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 You're starstruck by this TV show? And then, this was the cringiest thing I've ever seen. And then they were like, you guys can team together and you guys can feel the glow. Yeah. Sorry, Naomi. Sorry. It was bad. It was not good. It was cringy. Didn't like it. I want to like Lana. I want to like Lana in this new role. I mean, we've seen her wrestle a couple times. I want to like Lana. She's not too bad. But if you're doing stuff like this with a glow, it ain't happening. It ain't gonna happen. Cringy, didn't like it, don't want to see him. Sorry. That's all I can say about that. It was awful. Next, we're gonna talk about the other cringiest thing on the show. The goon known as James Ellsworth. This goon returned to Money in the Bank last weekend, and this goon had to come out and cut a promo this week. This idiot comes out and he was like, I want Asuka to come out here. Last week she attacked me, but this week I'm ready. I know she's in the back. Then Paige comes on out, and Paige is like, Ellsworth, actually, she's not here. And you know that because you went around asking everybody where Asuka was because you were scared where she was. And they said she wasn't here. So you came out here as soon as you figured out she wasn't here just because she couldn't challenge you so you could look tough. And then James Ellsworth, playing the coward he is, he's like, wait a minute, Paige, I know what this is about. You came out here to ask me on a date. And then she was like, actually, no, I came out here to tell you that Carmella's facing Asuka at Extreme Rules. He's like, but you came out here to ask me a date. And she was like, actually, Ellsworth, yes, I did. How does next week sound? I was like, oh, boy, please. Please, no. No, no, no. Don't want a segment like that. No, no, no. But she's like, no, we are going to have a date next week. Wait, Ellsworth, your date isn't actually with me. You thought it was with me? You're funny. Actually, it's against Asuka. And it's not really a date, it's a match. So next week, we're going to see Asuka versus Ellsworth. We're going to see the intergender wrestling, and I guarantee Asuka's going to absolutely demolish James Ellsworth in under a minute. I guarantee it's going to happen. One hip attack, James Ellsworth's done. Sorry. Next, we're actually going to talk about something I like on this show. We're going to talk about Sanity. But before we talk about Sanity, we're going to talk about the Jeff Hardy Open Challenge, which Sanity was sort of involved in. So Jeff Hardy, they had the excuse of Shinsuke Nakamura being injured at a house show. It wasn't actually an injury. A dog bit him, one of the security dogs. Not a big deal. It was enough to keep Nakamura off the show for this evening. But what ended up happening is Jeff Hardy came out. He had the United States Open Challenge. And he ended up defending the title against Eric Young. And I was like, hold up. That would be interesting if Eric Young wins this match. That would be interesting. I like Eric Young. Eric Young's good. And they were having a decent match. But what ended up happening is the other two members of Sanity, Alexander Wolf and Killian Dane, they were sort of getting involved, going up, playing the manager kind of role, not doing anything, but being a little suspicious. And the Usos come out. They start attacking them. Then Eric Young just completely gives up on the match. He's trying to save his friends. He goes, he gets the Uso. The Uso rolls in the ring with them, starts punching him, disqualification. Paige comes on out, and she's like, tag team match. We got a tag team match, playa. 6-man tag. Let's do it. So, we ended up having a 6-man tag instead of the Open Challenge, and Jeff Hardy and the Usos ended up beating Sanity. I didn't like that. Sanity should have won. It's their first real match on television, really. And Jeff Hardy hit a Swanton Bomb onto Alexander Wolf, got the pin. Don't think that should have happened. Sanity, I really like him. Sanity is a great thing. It all came up with Triple H 10 years ago, apparently. And the idea's been brilliant. I love Sanity. Sanity's one of the best factions that is currently there. There's not many factions still out, but I like that faction. And the way they did that, no. I did not enjoy that segment. I'm sorry. They should have won. They should have won. And that's all I have to say about that. Next, we're going to talk about Becky Lynch and Sonya Deville, a match that actually was pretty good. Now, when I say that, It's not anything against Becky Lynch. Trust me, she is great in the ring. Trust me, I'm a huge fan of Becky Lynch. But I did not think that this was going to be very well, considering she's fighting against an MMA fighter, sort of. An amateur MMA fighter in Sonya Deville. And Sonya Deville is not the most polished in-ring performer on the company, but Sonya Deville looked good in this match. She did what she had to do, and she ended up taking the disarmer at the end, and she had to tap out. Now, I'm all for it. And they're starting to play a little role on commentary that Becky Lynch is starting to string together some wins. I'm just saying. Ellsworth's there. Carmella's there. Asuka loses at Extreme Rules. Last year, we had that match with Becky Lynch and Ellsworth. Come on. Put it up. I want to see it. I want Becky Lynch to win. And then you could have Charlotte come back. Turn her back on Becky. Be a heel. I'm just saying. That'd be an interesting thing for Royal Rumble time. Or whatever. Survivor Series if you want. I'm just saying. Smart idea. Smart idea. We haven't seen Becky Lynch with the title since 2016. I would not mind now. Her first title run was not that great. They didn't let her do much. She lost to Alexa Bliss. But she could do something special with Charlotte. Next, we're actually going to get into the last segment I'm going to talk. Well, we're actually not going to get into the last segment, but we're going to talk about this real quick. Andrade Cien Almas, Zelina Vega, they haven't been on the show for like 2 or 3 weeks now, and they cut a promo basically telling the rest of Smackdown Live to stay away from them because Andrade is going to embarrass everyone like he did the Jobbers. Now we're going to get into the last segment. And the last segment wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. The ending was a little underwhelming, but it wasn't a bad ending segment. Don't get me wrong. So, we had Luke Harper fight Daniel Bryan. Obviously, earlier in the night, Daniel Bryan was like, I want to challenge either one of you or both of you. I don't care which one it is. I want to fight you guys. I'm tired of it. You guys assaulted me last week. I need my vengeance. I need to get my revenge. So, he ended up challenging Luke Harper. Luke Harper and Daniel Bryan. Not a bad match. Not a bad match. But in this match, we saw some weird things here with Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. They're being a little suspect, you see me? It ended up being a disqualification. They ended up just completely brutalizing Daniel. They did not care whatsoever. They really having it in on Daniel. But then, out of nowhere, we hear the Flames. And we get Kane's music. Kane comes on out and helps Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan doing the running knee. Kane doing the choke slam. And we're sitting there looking at Team Hell No. One on the left side of the ring, and one on the right side of the ring. They're both staring at each other. They're both looking at each other. And Daniel Bryan shaking his head, saying, no, I'm not going to do this. Daniel Bryan looking at Kane. Kane comes on over to Daniel. I thought he's about to do the flame thing. But no, Kane is opening up for a hug, and Daniel's sitting there. Takes a couple minutes. Then Daniel comes on in, and he gives him a nice hug. We go off the air. We see Kane and Daniel Bryan both doing the yes chants. And Team Hell No has reunited. But that's not it. That's not it. Paige came out and she's like, I'm not going to waste this opportunity. I'm going to capitalize when everybody's still on their high. Basically. At Extreme Rules, we are going to see the Bludgeon Brothers versus Team Hell No. Now, that's getting my brain kicking a little bit. You don't reunite Team Hell No to not win the tag team titles, right? I think we're in for a tag team title change. The Bludgeon Brothers run hasn't been anything spectacular. And now we might see Team Hell No. Possibly. It'd be something special. I like Daniel Bryan. I like Kane. But it probably wasn't the best option they could have gone with. They could have went with The Miz. They could have had The Miz involved. They could have had Paige force The Miz to be in a tag team with them. They could have done a lot of different scenarios. They could have brought somebody up from NXT if they wanted to. But they didn't. You got to see Kane. And that's where we're going to leave you off for the SmackDown Live review. SmackDown Live was better than Monday Night Raw. Don't get me wrong. There were some cringy parts in SmackDown Live, as always in a WWE program. But SmackDown Live, for me, gets a thumbs up for this week. I mean, there's nothing too bad about the show. When you have Rusev in contention for the title, I'm not gonna crap all over your segments. It's not worth my time. Some of it was good, some of it was bad, as always. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. See you guys for now.